This is part 3 of the Introduction to PeerView version 2.0. In the previous version, we've now registered as a peer for the ABC school. So the next step in our workflow would be to configure classes. So if I click the configure button, I'll be presented with sections and questions. Uh, if I teach several sections, I would hit the plus sign. That would add a section to my list of classes that I teach. And then when you're ready to edit that section, hit select. You can change the title, so we'll call this small engine repair. I can put start and end dates. This is when this class will appear for other peers to observe. So I don't want the start and end date to be exactly the same. So we'll change this to say that it ends, it's a year-long class, for example. When you're naming your classes, it's very helpful to put in the period in which it is going to appear. So you might name your class small engine repair A, B day, period 2, something like that. Something that people in your school would be able to recognize so that they can know that, oh, I'm observing on an A day in its second period, therefore this must be small engine repair. I'd hit save, and you'll notice that that class has now been updated in this section. I also have the option to create questions that I want peers to answer for me. You can add questions here on this screen, or you can add questions within a class. In both cases, when you add available questions, the questions are generic and universal to all of your classes. They don't appear in a class until you've assigned them. So if I was to, for example, add a new class and I want to ask the question like, am I selecting students equally for class feedback or class interaction? Question mark. Again, I can put a start and end date on my question. If I only want that to appear, say, for first trimester, I might change the end date to, say, December 1st, 2017. Now, that question would only be active within this window. But that question has not been assigned to this class small engine repair yet. So if I have it in my list, I can click select, and it's now a question that has been assigned to small engine repair. So now I'm done, and I can go back. And you'll notice that that now appears as a question in my list of questions. So I could build my list of questions here, or I can build it within sections of my class. So now if I was ready to build another class, I could hit the plus sign to make a new section, select it. This might be heroic myth. This might be, say, CD days, period 4, and it's going to run, and it's a year-long class again. I'll just say that. I'll save that. And then, oh, I want to make a question for that one, so I can go back into it here, and I can assign this same question to that class, or I can add another question. So I'll just say I want that same question. And now I'm all set up. Those are my two classes I teach. They both have time periods associated with them and questions to be answered. So I'm done. In part 4 of this series, I will explain how administrators set up the observables and organization-wide questions.